Hello everyone, my name is Mike and this is Matrix to Paradise. This is the channel that I've created to document my journey from the Matrix, which is a truck driving job for me, to my personal paradise, which is going to be retiring overseas and documenting my adventures and my explorations overseas. Starting off with Cambodia. Anyhow, the last time I talked to you guys, I was in Fort Worth, Texas, at I believe it was a pilot down there. And the reason I was there at the pilot, because that was the only place close by, and I didn't want to be too far away from the place that I was picking up water from. So these guys, some places you go to and they're just it's a complete cluster. You know what I mean? So the next morning I got up and drove over there. And see, the woman told me, come back, check back in at 5, and it was 1 o'clock when I was there because I had an appointment for 1. She's like, check back in at 5, we might be able to load you then. And so I was like, I'm in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, which is not easy to find parking there. And we have a terminal close by, but it's about 45 minutes away from where I was at. So I didn't really want to take the risk to go up there. So I called my asset manager. I didn't want to take the risk to go up there to that plant and then have them not be able to load me. And then I'd have to go back and try and find another spot because I took the last spot in that pilot. So I didn't want to have to go back up to that plant and then have them tell me, now come back in the morning, and then drive 40 minutes away to go to Wilmer, which is where the terminal is for Crete, and then drive all the way back up there another 40 minutes the next morning. So I just called my asset manager, like I was saying, and talked to them, and they said they would talk to the CSR, which is the customer service representative for that place. And they got back to me later and said, well, the customer service representative couldn't get a hold of them there, so just go back in the morning. And I was like, exactly. Because if you don't take care of business, nobody else is going to. So I did. I stayed there. There's somebody over here ready to, I think they're going to back in here. Yeah, they're going to hook into this trailer right next to me. You'll be able to see him here coming into view right about now. There he is. So anyway, I went back up there to that plant, that water distribution place, bottled water stuff, and got loaded. Now this place is a cluster, like I said. So when you go in there, there's 2 entrances, but you can't go in the first one because that's the exit, really. Because they've got construction going on there, and they got all kinds of other crap going on there. And it's very narrow to drive in there in the first place. So I had to go in the other entrance, and you have to go and you sit in line. Well, there's like 4 or 5 other trucks in there sitting in line. So you got to park behind them. So I did that. I parked in behind them and waited in line for about 45 minutes, waiting to get called into a dock door. So I got into the dock door and got loaded. Okay. Now like I said, this place is compact. There's tons of trucks in there coming in and out all the time, and there's just no room to play around in. So when you leave, you're in the dock door, your doors are open, you're in the dock door, you're backed in. Well, to pull out, it was a pain in the neck to pull out because there were people in the way. And so I had to freaking really cut it close on some places. And you couldn't just sit there, you couldn't just stop and just close your doors. Well, when the guy came out to tell me that they were done, he told me that the seal was in the back. The seal, meaning when you close the doors, there's little holes in there. You put a seal in there and you latch it up and seal it off, basically, with the seal. So I said, okay, great. So I left there. I had to go out and then down to a street down the way and close the doors and then put the seal on. Well, I went back to look at this to find the seal. The seal's not back there. I looked everywhere. There's a little pocket on the inside of the door that usually that's where all that stuff goes. They put it right in that little pocket right there, and then you grab that seal out of there and you attach it, and you move on. But it wasn't there, so that was a hassle. So I went down the road, and there was a truck stop I was going to stop at for fuel in a place called Wichita Falls, Texas. So I went to there. I called my asset manager and told him about the seal problem, and they said, okay, well, let's call. See, now I was delivering to Walmart, and Walmart's really tricky about seals and security and all this other stuff, which is fine. I mean, I get it. So since I called it in early, I told them, look, there was no seal back there. And they were like, well, usually you're supposed to take care of it there. But I told them, I said I couldn't take care of it there unless I would have sat in line for another 45 minutes, and I wasn't going to do that. And they understood, so it was not a big deal. But anyway, so the CSR called Walmart and got it all straightened out, and I put the new seal number that I had, because I have seals in my truck that are Crete seals. They give you a bunch of seals. They're just plastic things that, like zip ties sort of things, but they snap together. Well, anyway, so I just put the new, and they have numbers on them. So I put the new seal on there and recorded the number and put it on the bills and wrote an explanation in the memo and all this other stuff. So got that taken care of and got that all the way up here to Utah, Corinne, Utah, at the Walmart distribution center here, and got it in there, got an empty, took it out of there, and then they had me going to Ontario, California, and then another load going back to Texas. Well, since they kept me for an extra day in Fort Worth with that water company place, it messed up my next load. I wasn't going to be able to make the pickup time or the delivery time in Ontario, California. So we had to nix that, and she gave me a new couple deliveries, a new couple loads. So my next load is cool because I'm going back up to Portland, Oregon. So I had to come back down here to the Crete terminal. That's where I'm at right now, the Crete terminal in North Salt Lake City, Utah. So I'm in North Salt Lake, and I'm at the Crete terminal, and I'm just hooked into my new trailer, and I'm staying here for the night. And I thought, well, I want to get this done, get a new video in today, because today was supposed to be the day I'm supposed to put it in. But also, I'm not sure where I know where I'm going to stop tomorrow night. I'm going to stop in a place called Boardman, Oregon, and there's a Love's up there. And then the next morning, head into Portland and get live unloaded, and then head to another place, like 5 minutes down the road, thank God. 5 minutes down the road to get live loaded for another load going down to Casa Grande, Arizona. And then after that, I'm going to take my 5 to 6 day break and hang out in Phoenix for 5 or 6 days. So I'm going to go to Oregon. Well, anyway, I take the Interstate 84 up there. I'm going to go from here, Interstate 15, and it hooks up in Idaho. It hooks up in Idaho onto Interstate 84, which goes right through Boise and all the way to Portland, Oregon. And the cool thing about that is right there in Portland, right as soon as you start getting into the population, in a place called Troutdale, Gresham, right there, that little area right there. There's a Love's there and a TA right there, a TA travel stop and a Love's travel stop right next to each other. Well, the TA is where I've got to get fuel, but at the Love's, right in the Love's parking lot, there is a place called Yu's Garden, YU. It's a Chinese restaurant. Oh my goodness. If you're ever in the Portland area off of Interstate 84, in Troutdale, stop at the Loves there, and right next to it, there is a place called Yu's Garden. They have the best Chinese food. It is awesome. Awesome Chinese food. So I'm stopping there and getting some Chinese food. Every time I go to Portland, Oregon, I stop at Yu's Garden and get some Chinese food. Got to. It's so good, and I hardly ever eat Chinese food. But when I'm there, it's just the bomb. General Chow's chicken. They it is like the best General Chow's chicken I've ever had in my life. It's so good. Anyway, so I'm happy about that. Gonna pick up some General Chow's chicken, and go in and drop off this load, get live unloaded, and then get live loaded for the trip down to Casa Grande, Arizona. And then I'm going to be able to take my break. I've been out for about, 6 weeks so far. Well, it'll be 6 weeks by the time I get done with this. But, it's about time to take a break. I'm kind of, after about 6 weeks, 6 to 8 right in there, I'm usually like, it's time to take a break. And I think my first day back on the road for my last stop was the 12th of December, I think it was. So it's already been 5 weeks. So another week, it'll be 6 weeks. It's time. So the cool thing about this is, though, I've only got, if I calculated it right, and I'll be in the vicinity. So if I go every 6 weeks, so let's just say I go and I take from February 1st through like February 6th, okay, or 7th. And then I go from, say, like the 7th or 8th to, we go March 8th and go to April 1st, right? So I go to April 1st. That's another 6 weeks out of the way, or 7 weeks, whatever it is. And then I take another break. April, 1st to April 8th or April 7th, okay? Then I go from April, again, I do another 6 weeks. May 7th, and then take another break in the middle of May somewhere, or the end of May. And then I'll be there. That's only 2 more. Well, let's see, is it 1? It'll be February to April, and then the next one. So that'll only be 2 more 6 week periods that I'm out on the road. And I'm going to do my assessment at the end of May. So when I do my assessment on how much more time I'm going to really sit down with myself and think, all right, how much more do I really got to save? How much do I want to take with me? And start making plans to put in my 2 weeks whenever it's time, and start preparing for takeoff, to go overseas, to start the paradise part of this whole story. And I'm just happy. It's starting to get closer and closer, and I'm getting really happy about it. So it's just it's a lot of hard work. Not a hard work. I'm not like saying I'm out here breaking rocks or anything, but I mean it's a lot of time. So it's like you do anything for 2, 3, 4 years to get to a goal. It's it's work. It's work. And plus, it's not. I'm tired every night when I get done, so it's not like I'm laying around drinking beers and watching cartoons or anything. It's not like that. I'm actually having to pay attention and keep my head on a swivel, start work. I have to keep attentive. So being attentive takes work. It does. It tires you out after a while. But I'm not complaining. I'm doing what I have to do. So these are the times I really stress when it's so worth it. You know what I mean? It's like when you first start off of anything, it's like, it seems like whenever you start a goal, it seems like it's forever. It could take, like if you're trying to lose 10 pounds or 20 pounds or 50 pounds, whatever it is, it seems like it's going to take you forever. If you're trying to run a 5K or whatever, it seems like it's going to take forever. You're just take off on the first, half kilometer or whatever, half mile of it. And I remember in the Marine Corps, I was like 3 mile run. Ugh, what a pain in the neck that was. But by the time you get into the rhythm, at the time I was in excellent shape. It's just annoying to think of 3 miles. You're like, God, it's forever. But as soon as you start getting in the rhythm and you start knocking off the mileposts that where you're at, because it was always on a course, so you knew where you're at and how far you had to go. But once you start knocking it off, you're like, oh, I've got a pretty good clip going on here. Bam, 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 bam. And it starts making you feel good. And when you get towards the end, you're like, yeah, I just kicked ass and took names, So I implore everybody to keep a positive mental attitude when they're trying to get something done. When they set a goal, because the first step is really just understanding what you want and then going and setting the goal to get there. A lot of people stall on the first part. They don't even know what the hell they want. They don't even think about what they want. They're so down in the ditch that they're still digging in that they can't even think about, how to get out of it. And I just implore people to figure out what you want. And once you figure out what you want, I mean, really, really, really want, not just like, I want to go home and go to, I just want to go home tonight and go to bed. That's easy. Figure out something you really want. Picture your life in a situation that you really want. And then have the guts, have the cojones, whatever it is that you have, you got to grab a hold of, male or female, whatever it is you have to grab a hold of it and say, I'm going to freaking get it done. I'm going to get it done. Don't let yourself down by not seizing what you want. Don't let yourself, you're never too old. You're never too old for it. Everybody gets, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I hate defeatist attitude. Stop being defeatist. Grab what you want, find out what you want, and start grabbing it. Start going for it. Because no one else gives a shit about what you do. No one. You live your own life, and yeah, of course your immediate family cares a little bit. But honestly, you're the captain of your own ship, usually. Even if you're married, even if you have kids, you're pretty much the captain of your own ship. There's some places you can't go because you got responsibilities, obviously. But there's a lot of leeway there. And if you're single and you don't have a lot of responsibilities like myself, I just happen to be lucky that way. The sky's the limit, for God's sakes. I can go overseas and not worry about it. I don't have kids that I have to support. I don't have a wife that I have to support. I don't have to do any of that stuff. So I've grabbed my goal, and I'm not saying I'm any kind of special person. I'm not. I'm not even close to a special person. I'm just a regular old guy who figured out what I wanted, which I always knew what I wanted. I just didn't know how to get there. And finally, when I figured it out, I said, you know what? I'm going to get it. I'm not wasting away the rest of my life. That's what the big part is I'm in my 50s, my late 50s now. And I don't want to waste the rest of my living years not doing what I want to do. And whatever it takes to get me to that point, the fastest is what I'm doing. And this job is doing that. Apart from maybe robbing a bank. And if I rob a bank, I'm going to go to jail if I get caught. So I'm not taking that chance. Plus, I'm a moral person, so I would never rob a bank. But you get my point. I figured out a path. Now everybody has options to get to where they need to go. Just figure them out. Do the math. Do the research. Figure it out, and go for what you want in your life. Because there's nothing worse than, I can't imagine being on my deathbed and saying, man, I wish I would have done this. Wish I would have done that. Or at least tried. If I didn't, I'd be so disappointed in myself. I don't want to go like that. I want to be lying on my deathbed sometime and just say, wow, what a life you lived. There's no complaints. You can't go upstairs crying about what your life was like. That's how I want to go up there. I want to go up saying that I did exactly what I wanted to go do on my own terms. Maybe not perfect, maybe not exactly every single thing, but for the stuff that I wanted to go do, at least I made the effort. That's the key right there. And that would make my brain feel better about things. You know, if God wanted me to go upstairs tomorrow, at least I was working on it. I would at least be happy with myself that I was working on it, that I was going for what I wanted to go do, rather than sitting around, you know, complaining or crying about this or whatever. You know, I just think that everybody has a chance to be something great in their life for them, not for the rest of the world. You don't have to be world famous or mega rich. Just satisfy yourself. Be able to go to your deathbed or to your next goal and say, you know what, I did it. I kicked ass. I took names. I made it. I did what I wanted to go do, and I got it accomplished. That's something that is really, really satisfying in life. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I mean, maybe some people won't understand it, but I just can't explain how satisfying it is to be able to get goals accomplished, to be able to say to myself, you're doing it, you're getting it done. Every time I look at where I'm at money wise, or how much time I got left, and what, you know, every little thing that I get accomplished, you know, just the little victories that I get accomplished every day when I get a load done, you know, every other day when I get a load done. It's just a little victory that I got it done. That's more money that's going in the bank, you know, for my retirement. And I just, every little victory makes me feel better. So I wish everybody in the whole world could do that. Just figure out what they really want and just have the guts to go for it. Go for it. Just get it done. And then when you get there, you know, if it's not exactly what you thought it was, then go for the next thing. There's nothing stopping you. You know, the fun, a lot of the fun is in the small accomplishments along the way. Like, live your life for every single day. Enjoy the little things that you're getting done. You wake up in the morning and make your bed, even though I don't make my bed. But if that's what makes you happy, but I make my bed when I go to bed. I set it up properly when I go to bed. So it's not like if I could make my bed, but it wouldn't make any difference in the morning or at night. But I'm just using that for example. If getting up in the morning and making your bed makes you have an accomplishment, that's the first thing in the day. Bam, you made your bed, got something done. Next thing, make some coffee. Made the coffee, got it done. You know, get the dishes done. Do whatever you got to do. Go to work. Pump it out. Do your best you can. You know, whatever it is that makes you happy, get going on it. Make it happen. Anyway, that's all I want to say today. I'm just feeling happy about what's going on, and everything's going good for me. And I won't bore you with a bunch more dialogue here. I will probably get a hold of you guys in another couple days. I'll probably be in Oregon when I'm doing the next video, because tomorrow I'm going to be stopping in Oregon, in Boardman, Oregon, and then the next day I'll go and do the live unload, then quickly do a live load, and then head back to, I think, Boardman that night. I think I'll have enough time to get back that far. Maybe I'll be in Ontario, Oregon. Maybe not. We'll see what happens. But I'll probably be in Oregon the next time I talk to you in a couple days. Anyway, everybody be safe. Have a great night. And if you like the channel, hit the like button and subscribe. I'd appreciate it. It helps out the channel very much. And if you know anybody who likes these subjects, please pass it on to them. And I will talk to you again in a couple days. Bye now.